Hey friends, today for math, we're going to talk more about subtraction and more specifically counting back 1 or 2 and also subtracting 0, which we have learned about, but we're going to go over it again. So we're going to use a number line today to do that. So let's just get right into it. We've done number lines before. Make sure my marker doesn't roll away. All right, so here's my number line. It is from 0 to 10. Okay, so let's say that we want to see what 7 minus 2 is. How do we do this? Okay, walk through this with me. So I go and I find, first, before that, let's write our equation at the bottom, and it's going to be a horizontal equation, okay? So we always have our subtraction sign, our equal sign, okay? We can't have an equation without those things. So let's start at, can you see that? Yep. Let's start at the 7. So 7 minus, or 7 take away 2 would be presented this way. This is why a number line works very well. So let's put our dot at the 7, okay? I'm trying to do this from the, I don't know if you guys can see that very well. There we go. So take away, which is another way of saying count back. So when we add, it's like we're counting forward, right? So if I did 1 plus 1, that's 2, right? So if I was like 1, and then I count one more, okay, jump forward, 1, you land on 2. Let's count back with this. So we have 7, and we're going to take away 2, or count back 2, okay? So let's do that. So count back 1, there's 1 hop. Count back 2, there's your 2 hops. And what did you land on? You landed on 5. Okay, so that's how counting back works. Let's do it with, let's finish our equation first. So 7 minus 2 equals 5. And look at your number line there one more time. We started on 7, and we counted backwards 2. Okay, so we reversed, we hopped backwards 2, and we landed on 5. Okay, let's do a different one. And I encourage you guys to get your whiteboards and do this too, when you're doing your worksheet, okay? If you need help with that, the whiteboard can help if you can just write it down and look at it and provide a visual for yourself. Let's take away 1 from a number, okay? So let's do 10. So we're going to put our dot on 10. 10 minus 1. Okay, so there's my equation. 10 minus 1 equals, and what did I say that we need to do? We need to hop backwards, okay, or count back. So if we're taking 10 minus 1, we're going to start at 10, and we're just going to hop back 1 space. And what did we land on? Sorry, there we go. What do we land on? 9. So 10 minus 1 is 9. See how easy a number line can make things? It makes it more clear. You can look at it and just see it. Sometimes doing things in your head can be a little hard. So now for the last one, let's talk about subtracting 0. Now we've talked about this before, and what do we remember about that? We remember that when you subtract 0, whatever the number that you're subtracting from stays the same, because let's do it on our fingers real fast, okay? So if I had 10 and I say, okay, let's take away 0. All right, I took away 0. How many do I still have? 10, right? So when you're subtracting 0, it means you're subtracting nothing, right? There's no value to that number, so there's nothing you could take away from the original number. So let's say we're going to take away 3 minus 0. 3 minus 0 equals. So we start on the 3, and then we take away 0. All right, we took away 0, right? We didn't have to do anything because we're not subtracting anything. So what's our dot on? 0. Remember, when you take away 0, this number remains the same. So 3 minus 0 is still simply 3. All right, and I know you guys are rock stars at that. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about your worksheet. Your worksheet, you're going to need some crayons today for your worksheet. But first, what you need to do is on the front part of it, you'll see Digit the clown and Cecilia the seal fishing on the front, and some number lines besides that. What you need to do is look at the equation below the number line, and then look at the objects. In this case, it's fish that are above it, and you need to fill in that equation by jumping and crossing out as you go. So, if it was 6 minus 1, then you start at the 6, and you hop back 1 space, and you end on 5. And you need to cross out one of those fish, because if you do it correctly, then once you count the fish that you have left, that is your answer. Okay? So that's the top two. Below that, numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. And those were just examples at the top. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought for a second. Numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. It says draw back jumps to subtract. Remember, because we talked about forward jumps. These are back jumps. Complete the subtraction sentence. Okay? I know you can do that. Numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All you have to do is do vertical subtraction, okay? Remember what we said. When 0 is subtracted from a number, the answer is that number. Nothing changes. On the back side, complete the subtraction sentences. So this is vertical subtraction, and you'll notice that the blue box has each equation is subtracting 0. Okay? Remember the rule about 0. Then the yellow box, number 2, you're going to subtract 1 from those numbers, or count back 1. And then number 3, the green box, you're going to count back 2 from those numbers, okay? Number 4, below that, write a subtraction sentence for the picture. So what you'll notice is that there are 5 fish there, and one of them is caught in a net. So you might say that you had 5 and 1 was taken away. What do you have left? Hopefully that helps you figure out what you need to write in those squares to finish the sentence. And at the bottom, this is review. This one is addition now. Color each section to show the sum, and then use the key. So if your answer is 8, then you color that little piece red. If your answer is 9, it's orange. If your answer is 10, it's yellow. If your answer is 11, it's going to be green. And if your answer is 12, it's brown. So be sure you use that key, okay? The number beside that color, that's what the color needs to be, okay? Like I said, this is mainly a review. So tomorrow we'll get into subtracting all or nearly all. And we will learn more about that tomorrow.